trade wing.
And will it end the same way? Could the Malians get the same level of aggression? Well, they'll have to if DeMusliM wants to remain in contention and have a chance of making it to the playoffs. DeMusliM has not had a deep run that has netted him big boy points so far here in Golden League 2. And this is do-or-die territory. Upper bracket, but you don't feel good going lower right now. If you can take out MarineLorD, the champion, at round 2, confidence levels are going to be through the roof for DeMusliM.
Yeah, it's not just going to be confidence levels. It's also going to be bragging rights for probably the next month or so. So, going to be interesting to see how DeMusliM is going to be playing with the Malians here. We did say earlier that Malians so far have been treating DeMusliM rather well in this tournament.
Yes, so full transparency, my expectation with this series, I looked at that first game, I was like, no, someone else must have been playing for him, because that's not the MarineLorD and DeMusliM I know of round 3, okay? So far, MarineLorD has, I believe he up until this series, he exclusively played Abbasids in round 3. Meanwhile, DeMusliM, bar the losses in his series, has only played the Malians. Every single Malian game he played, he has won. So right now, in round 3, this is a 100% win rate for these two players on each of these civs.
Yeah, 100% win rate here for DeMusliM. I'm not quite sure if this is going to translate into a game against MarineLorD, especially after what we just saw BC pull off against Recon's Malians here. But definitely going to be... I wonder if this time we will see the professional scouts. Because in the last game as well, we saw that BC managed to take full control over his tier packs, and maybe a little bit of more harass there could probably have swung things a little bit more in Recon's favor in the last game.
I'm wondering, like, maybe if there was an element in Recon's mind when he was going for that trade build, if he expected BC to do the same. If we could actually just have both players engaging in trade. Now, if that happens, long-term, obviously you favor the Malian trade, but I don't know. I have this feeling that the Abbasids have a window, right? Because they get the traders for free, they can kind of just rush Castle Age and then still come and shut you down on a delay.
So the thinking behind that one is that the Malians, they have to pay more for their traders.
Yeah.
And the Abbasid, their traders also get like additional strengths later on in the game, right? So they get the +5 armor, which makes the traders super hard to kill in late game. They get like 8+8 armor. So it's going to be really hard to just run in there with a couple of horsemen. Horsemen are probably only going to be doing like 8 damage with every attack there. But it's going to be the economic wing here. And once again, we're going to be seeing the Manza Quarry here. So no immediate giveaway that any of these players are going to be going for trade.
No, it gives a little bit of flexibility. Eco wing on the other side, so MarineLorD just completely shirking away from it. I feel like another thing is when we keep getting these back corner spawns in the trade posts, especially for the Abbasids, makes it less desirable, right? Because you're not going to run a villager out yet to build up a marketplace in the opposite corner, especially considering you won't have wheelbarrow this early as the Abbasids.
Yeah. All right, so DeMusliM hammering away at that Manza Quarry with 7 villagers. We've seen that quite a bit, that players decide to build with a couple extra villagers just because getting it up earlier, it starts generating those resources earlier. Wonder if he's gonna be going for a mill soon. If we see a mill next to his TC, like relatively early, in like the next couple of minutes, that does hint at it's going to be a professional scout kind of play here.
Admittedly, like, you know, this is the type of generation you could just walk to the backside of your base, right? Deer, berry patch there. You know, obviously you're a little bit exposed, but usually you don't get too much aggro out of an Abbasid player. And also, those walls, those wood lines rather, make it very easy to wall in. So maybe that's a better way for DeMusliM to go. I guess it depends whether you want to try to just yoink away every deer stack from the Abbasid player here.
Now we see the early stable, so it's going to be Warrior Scouts. Wonder if he's just going to pull his scout towards the base of MarineLorD and just try to harass the villagers a little bit. Works quite well. See another one immediately in the queue, another Warrior Scout. So not sure if this... I feel like this is going to be a deer heist kind of situation. We already see the barracks though, but Warrior Scouts with that extra movement speed are known to be able to outrun those spearmen. So
it's weird. They technically over a long period of time do not outrun them, Crackedy. So the spearmen move 1.25 by default, and carrying a carcass, these scouts move 1.24. But the issue is charge, right? If a spearman is anywhere near you, like that charge will run you down. There's no way you get away with that carcass.
Yeah, thing is though that they can just over the duration the attacks, because there's like just very little movement speed difference there. There's gonna be like a little bit of time in between those attacks, and the warrior scouts can just out heal in that time. But it's not going to be professional scouts. Instead, it's just gonna be a mill for some extra beef there. Gotta get that food count up, and just gonna get some economy upgrades behind that. The Manza Quarry is still on gold right now, so it's also not going to be a play into additional TCs behind this. Wonder what exactly the plans is, and now MarineLorD, 5 minutes into the game, is going to go over to Stone.
Yeah, and this is why I like DeMusliM's play. Instead of going pro scouts, maybe come back for it later, but the whole goal right now is, he's going to want to build additional TCs. And this is a pretty efficient unit for idling that out, right? You pay more than your normal scouts, but you get way more than what's the increase in cost, like 25%, 30%. It's totally worth it.
Yeah. And now those scouts just do a little bit of damage on those spears. Gonna decide to run away again and heal back up.
And then
almost back to full HP.
So
yeah, that's just dirty. Look at that. One scout is already full HP again.
Like, it's pretty much what's the delay on the healing kicking in? I feel like it's almost instant, right? There's
no delay. Yeah. They also regenerate in combat.
So this is actually just I wouldn't even call it a poor man's chivalry. This is better than chivalry.
Yeah, it's just chivalry's bigger brother here.
Yeah, he's been away. That's why he arrived late in the game. He was abroad for a few years, but he's finally big and small, and he's come home. And you even just see him diving under the TC confidently with the new scouts. Cool thing about that is because you're playing against the bastards, they're never typically on the sheep first, right? They always go to the berry patches instead.
Imagine if the English, if their king, got the full healing from the Abbey of Kings,
God,
and it was available in combat.
So, like, I'd be okay with that.
That is what warrior scouts are like.
But I'd be okay with that change, but we have to take everything else away from the English. That's my condition.
No more units.
Villagers? Yeah, no units. You just get your static defenses. Oh, he almost pinches him, but great micro.
And the scout from MarineLorD dies. And they're all gonna be full HP again.
How?
And this might be an opportunity. So he knows that the TC is there. But at any one point in time, there could be a deer heist if he gets the upgrade in. But it looks like it's gonna be a fast castle age behind this, and I'm wondering if it's gonna be the Grand Falani Corral. No problem. It's gonna be Farimba, right? Like,
you'd think it would be Farimba. I've seen a few players playing around with Fulani. I guess it just speaks to the Muslim thought process. Do I think I can beat a 2TC eco-wise, or do I feel like I can actually just be militarily better? I think Eva's actually pretty good here, right? If MarineLorD went like 3 TCs, you probably feel like you have to be more aggro. But only a 2 TC start, confidence. However, there is a third TC. It's just MarineLorD has smuggled himself off into the tree lines, and I don't think DeMusliM spotted it.
Yeah, but now we do see the Farimba garrison coming out, and this could be a little bit dangerous here for MarineLorD if DeMusliM manages to pump out enough units in time to rush down those additional TCs. MarineLorD could find himself in a position where he invested a lot of resource into those, might lose any forward villagers there on those TCs, and yeah, might be worse for wear after that. And DeMusliM just running in there, killing a villager, running out. Units are just gonna heal right back up. And there we see an archery range. Archery range is just gonna be solely there to get the veterancy upgrade. And behind that, DeMusliM is just gonna be pumping out archers from the Farimba.
Hey, you're playing a Bastards, and you really want to get like high value with your TC placement for food. So you drop a TC on deer and Pumbaa. Sadly, you're playing the Bastards, so it's not an S tier TC drop.
Yeah, and Pumbaa could be your doom as well if Pumbaa suddenly decides to take a bite out of your villagers there at any one moment.
It's true. Like the warrior scouts, they still have bows, right? They can just pull them out, aggro into you, and all of a sudden you've got this board that just won't leave you alone. Absolute pain in the ass. I mean, this unit is just a veteran.
Yeah, now we're getting veteran warrior scouts, so those scouts are gonna be even more annoying after that. Wonder how much more damage they do. So normal warrior scouts, they do like 8 damage, I want to say, and The weird thing, or funny thing rather, is that even now, at this point, actually they only do 9 damage. Okay, that's bad,
Yeah,
right?
but they've got 130 health, right? Like, the tech cost upgrade, I think if you're, like, going to maybe build up to 10 scouts, it's worth it, right? Like, was it 350 resources for a veterancy? I think that's fine. Like, even 6
yeah,
is
they
not that
do
bad.
have really fast. They do have really fast attack speed, right? So it's also
Yes, they
quite
do.
nice.
I mean, this is basically just a better raider than a French knight. Like, people have been wondering, what do we need to do to make French great again? Give them this. Take this away from the mark. Give this to the French. Come on.
Please no. Don't give this to anybody. Look at him just diving the TC. Sure, there are no villagers inside, but yeah, he can just be fine with sitting around that TC and just nicking villagers here and
all
there.
I'm thinking is we've nerfed the Farimba already, right? Maybe we need to nerf Sofa. If we nerf this as well, I don't know how we can call them Moldians anymore because they'll be balanced. I think I disagree, Crackedy. We can't take this away from them. The magnificent micro, DeMusliM once again getting away. Barely though, because Spearmen are quite lethal and also quite fast. But don't you love the fact that these horsemen simply cannot get close on these scouts?
Yeah, and behind that, DeMusliM is now up on 20 archers, soon to be 25. Gets a sneaky villager kill there, so MarineLorD is going to be taking a villager as well, but still there's a 12 villager, 13 villager difference right now between MarineLorD and DeMusliM, and DeMusliM is on the clock here. Yes. He needs to do damage soon. If he doesn't get, like, lots of villager kills in sometime soon, and there's an opportunity here on the gold. Lots of villagers there. Outside of the range of the TC. Oh.
Yep. But he shoot that mining camp who the daddy is, Crackedy, okay? You saw that. That mining camp will never mess with him again. The walk past.
True.
Now, he's got the scouts to body block these choke points. So right now, MarineLorD, even though he's got a decent amount of horsemen, he's reluctant to engage.
Yeah, I mean, it's still veterancy on those archers, right? Sure, there's still an upgrade missing, but these archers will do a deceptively high amount of damage to those horsemen. And there's a lot of horsemen in the queue right now. Okay, for a second, there were 10 horsemen in the queue. Looks like MarineLorD rebalanced that a little bit and instead added a couple more spearmen as well. But he's producing. He do be massing right now, and DeMusliM is getting a pretty nice position here over on that wood line. Is going to force those villagers away, and if they don't go away, they're going to die.
DeMusliM isn't even looking to attack the horsemen. You notice he just keeps shuffling into them, body blocking them out, but finally he has to give way. So MarineLorD will make his way in, but DeMusliM, he's trading these archers for villager kills. That's all that matters to him. Transition is underway behind this, by the way. He's pumping sofas. He's got the imported armors, but MarineLorD now just going heavy into spears actually might benefit him in the coming minutes.
Yeah, but behind this, DeMusliM is still making a lot of archers. Like, sure, he lost a couple of archers here right now, but he's still sitting on 15 archers. That's pretty much the same amount that he had before he started going in there. And he does have that blacksmith. Does he have the military academy upgrade on the blacksmith? Because that also affects the speed with which you produce out of the from the garrison.
Yeah, usually you see it a few minutes into Castle Age. Now, it's still not there. This is the difference, right? It used to be by now, with the old Farimba Rush build, you'd expect Military Academy, but we have to consider that he's adding in sofas. He's actually straining his eco a lot more than is apparent here.
Yeah, and he also doesn't have the last range upgrade right now, so no +2 on his attack. So the horseman can still fight this relatively easily. I want to say, but this fight was in the favor of DeMusliM.
Yeah, it's that the fact. Oh, he got the surround. Wait, but the archers are just fighting back. Yeah, the base damage is pretty high at this stage, and you know, MarineLorD, remember, when he ventures out this far, there's no way he's bringing spearmen, right? They're drastically slower. Spearmen that are going to eventually be buffed up on the defensive, and there's no denying he's going to need it, especially when you consider that these are Castle Age heavy cavalry units up against Fuel Age spears.
Now we're finally getting the last damage upgrade in for those archers. I don't think there's a monastery yet for the Muslims, so he can't quite go out for those relics yet. That's an inefficient mining camp right there. Might be catching those units there. Yeah, Sofa's getting pinched. He kills a single unit that's able to pull out.
Now, this is the cool thing for him, actually, because DeMusliM added in sofas with the scouts as well. It's detrimental because those sofas move slower, right? So horsemen can actually move beyond them and pinch them like that.
Yeah. The upgrade is not quite there yet, but it's only going to be a couple more seconds. And behind this, MarineLorD is still, I want to say, relatively far away from Castle Age, but it's a little elusive just because he only needs to gather more gold for a minute and hold production for like a minute, and then he could be up to Castle Age. But he does have his berries forward there, does have an outpost there, but now we're seeing it. There it is. Poison arrows are on their way. And as soon as that comes in, all those horsemen, they can't take the fights anymore.
And right now, I imagine, like, I'm not sure if DeMusliM did scout that third TC. If he didn't, this is the point where these numbers start to make it apparent to him, right? Where he's like, something's not right here. I think he did scout it out in the stone outcropping. It's just he never discovered where it got dropped. So hasn't had an opportunity to punish that very greedy out there extension of MarineLorD's base.
This could be really, really bad here for DeMusliM. He doesn't have the upgrade yet. This is going to be an early fight. And all right, Sofas are trying to buy him a little bit of time. Archers are kiting back and forth, but the fight is going to happen, and every now and then, every time he groups the units up, a lot of hits are going to get in.
It's that peel back as well. You saw what happened there, right? He misclicked because he was trying to peel back the Sofas, but then he clicked the archers forward accidentally. So, you know, obviously you want them to start a step, but in some ways, this is just an inefficient retreat. It does at least convince MarineLorD he needs to back off. Plenty of horsemen do die in the midst of this.
That's huge. That's what happens when the +2 archer upgrade is in. It's just a lot of damage on those units, and now DeMusliM is in a favorable position suddenly, but I think there's a couple of horsemen on the gold right now from him, from MarineLorD.
That's true, but one thing to consider behind this is MarineLorD, because he just lost so many horsemen, he sacrificed any ability to think about Castle Age. Horsemen are not cheap in this situation, especially we have to replace even more as they're dying to a peasant rebellion on the backside.
Yeah, now the poison arrow upgrade is in. We see those poisons, those arrows tipped in poison, looking a little bit more purplish.
Use the choke point. Like, this is the thing. This is the beautiful thing, right? Those berry bushes actually work against MarineLorD when he's playing mass melee like this. Sofas are more or less fully expended, but the archer mass is getting worryingly large for DeMusliM here. 40 plus. And as you mentioned, your base damage was already good enough to deal with the horseman. The poison arrow really is just the cherry on top, as MarineLorD's army is all but just gone.
Yeah, I think DeMusliM probably has this if he just gets a little bit of siege out now. He does have the blacksmith, so just needs the upgrade in order to drop a couple of ramps, just 2 ramps, and you're able to do significant damage after this push.
See if he's able to get in. You can't rely on torch damage. Oh man, that hurts.
Yeah, that's I mean, it's cheaper. It's cheaper
but even with Eco Wing, right now, this is what you have to do.
And at the same time, MarineLorD is thinking about adding in some archers. He has 3 archers out on the field, but 3 archers against 48 archers. I'd rather be one of the 48 archers, and now we do see those 2 ramps.
Well, you don't believe that this is Robin Hood. Makes sense. Robin Hood was, you know, not born in the Abbasid Empire, but, well, we're going to get a good deep eyeball upon the Abbasid Empire as it crumbles here. Forward infrastructure, easy to siege into. And notice that, you know, for the DeMusliM, it's kind of cut and dry, right? You mass archers, you don't need more Sofas. There's no point investing in torch damage due to the Golden Age fire armor. But just 2 or 3 rams, and you'll shuffle your way through this base in the blink of the eyes. I mean, this doesn't even feel like a good fight for him.
Yeah, sure, he gets 2 archers there, but now he's got a couple more low HP horsemen. One even went down, and that TC at the front is completely exposed. There's no villager, nothing to garrison inside it. It's going to go down really quickly, and behind this, sure, MarineLorD is trying to get some value in the base of DeMusliM, but DeMusliM, if he notices, he does have army there to defend himself.
He needs to defend, though, because his villagers are out in a gold vein forward of his base, but it looks like MarineLorD, he went in half-cocked in terms of vision. It's only horsemen there. He doesn't realize how gluttonous DeMusliM's being with his eco. And he looks to the place where they are.
Coming up.
That's not the mass he was looking for. That's the painful sting, right? Like, you've seen this many archers, and you feel like there should be a lot more villagers here for you to kill. Although, you take what you can get.
He's getting a good amount of value there out of that. Behind this, MarineLorD, he does have enough gold to age up, but no more gold coming in. So even if he would age up, he wouldn't have any real units to make here. And behind this, DeMusliM now also getting the ranged Pierce armor upgrade. So once he gets that, he's going to be able to dive even further. And it looks like now the time is... Yeah, why wait? You get the upgrade, sure, it's going to help you in 1.5 minutes, but why wait 1.5 minutes when you can just win the game immediately?
You've got 70 archers. Why would you ever wait? Sofas will body block the fight. Villagers committed. MarineLorD says all hands on deck. There's only one way we're surviving this, and it's if you throw mind, body, and soul at the problem.
DeMusliM not committing yet, though, so MarineLorD is going to put some more villagers into the TC.
I mean, I'm pretty sure MarineLorD's going to build
the
2 more
eco,
ramps.
but less than half the military and the tank disadvantage here. So this push is inevitable. It's inevitably gonna hurt MarineLorD here. At this point, DeMusliM could probably just think about adding 2 more rams and just go for the landmark victory.
Honestly, at this stage, this is where your base hurts you, the Abbasids. Mass range, and you can't access it with mass melee. Part of me wants to say delete some of these houses when you go for this engagement, right? Because you're forcing yourself into choke points, but you can't even stay on top of the target. Maybe like 10, possibly 20% of your mass actually gets to fight.
Where did those horsemen come from? Killing one of the rams, so now only 1 ram with low HP remaining. Going down through to the... Yeah, he's gonna need a couple more there. All right, now he's finally finding the economy, and he has to realize that that is the only spot where Marine... has to fight. There we go.
Oh, he walks in.
Worried.
I mean, that's as good of a fight as MarineLorD's ever going to be offered here, but DeMusliM quick to react. Should be able to hold to a certain degree, but the price is going to be high for him. That archer line is getting thin fast.
Yeah, he lost quite a bit of archer mass, but behind this, it's also so good how the poison arrows, even if a unit survives with low HP, 2 seconds later it's dead.
Just long enough to say farewell to your loved ones, but not long enough to do anything useful. Not long enough to seek medical aid, especially considering he doesn't have any. Now, my question right now is, if those are poison arrows, why does shooting farms not contaminate it? All right, I'm going to stop coming up with suggestions to buff the Malians. They don't need it. They're doing absolutely fine without me.
Now the Sofas are finding the 3rd TC here from MarineLorD. Start getting some villager kills in there. Archers still hiding the units here.
Remember, by the way, this is not the full army. Like, yeah. Look at the top of your screen. DeMusliM has 60 archers total. I only count about 15 here.
Yeah, they're somewhere. They're making more ramps in front of the base, probably.
Are they? He's waiting at home. Like, if you check near his gold veins in the center, I think he's, yeah, they're chilling. Like, it's not our day to die yet. We haven't been called. We're the reserve force.
Just in case MarineLorD thinks about going up. Yeah, I'm not sure what he's thinking there. Maybe he just wants to make sure that he's not going to die to any like mass horseman raids, as MarineLorD has pumped out a massive amount of horsemen this game, but it feels like it's just never enough against these fully upgraded Castle Age archers.
Keeps on trying though. Wave after wave of horsemen go down. At this point, I think RSPCA is going to step in. There's just too many animals being abused this time around. This archer mass is going to be cleaned up. Remember, we saw the 2nd and 3rd wave. DeMusliM, right now, he's the zombie apocalypse. MarineLorD, he's just stuck in a house. Sure, he's got bullets to work with, but it feels like he's never getting out.
Yeah, right now, I mean, I'm scratching my head right now as what DeMusliM is waiting for with his military, but it looks like now they're coming. The dragons are arriving. The archers are moving forward, and he has a lot of wood in the bank. Like, he could just make 3 additional rams easily here and start putting a timer on this game with the landmarks going down. Maybe
this is part of the plan. DeMusliM's like, I know I've got these archers, but I need to crush his soul, right? I know I've got another game behind this. If I turn it around and take game 3, I'm going to need every advantage I can get against the reigning chimp of round number 2 in Golden League 2.
All right, 3 rams coming out. Can we see 4? No C4 here.
No, that's in red alert too.
But the rams are going to do similar amounts of damage to that TC as C4 would.
I mean, this is going to be just as explosive as the C4, I agree. As even just 3 rams at this stage, yeah, that's enough. The intimidation is overwhelming. MarineLorD realizes it's the end of the road, at least for map 2. We now have a 1-1 scoreline, which means in this upper bracket, it comes down to a best of 1.
Yeah, so now we have match point for both of these players. That's going to be... It's going to be interesting to see what they're going to pull off there. I wonder if DeMusliM is going to be like, okay, I won once with it. Can I win with it again?